Welcome to the demonstration on creating a remote connection to execute a remote job. This demo will go through the steps of creating a connection to a remote server from the IRI Workbench, and also how to create an IRI job script and execute it on the remote server from the Workbench. To do this, we will set up the remote connection, create a directory on the remote server to hold the projects, create a remote project, create a local project to be associated with the remote project. Execute a job script on the remote server. Make sure that your CoSort or other IRI product is installed and licensed on the remote server. For the user on the remote server, be sure that the environment variable CoSort Home or the environment variable related to your IRI product is set and that there is a path to the executable. Executables will normally be in the directory CoSort Home/bin, FieldShield Home/bin, and so on. When setting up the remote connection, be sure that the server being used is an SSH server. Here are the steps to set up the remote connection. In the Remote Systems tab, click on the first icon in the toolbar. This will bring up the Select Remote System Type window. Select SSH only. Do not select any of the other types. Click Next. This takes you to the Remote SSH Only System Connection window. The parent profile should have the name of the computer where you are running the workbench. In this case, that is Methane. For hostname, type in the hostname of the remote server. Our remote server is avalanche.iri.com. We will use Avalanche as the connection name. In the description box, give further information about the server if you wish. For this connection, I am typing in the fact that this is an AIX 6.1 server. Click Next, and Next again, and Finish. The connection name will be added to the tree for remote systems. Right-click on the connection name in the tree. Select Connect. Type in the user ID and password, and put a check in both save boxes. Click OK. If you get a pop-up about the authenticity of the host, click Yes to continue connecting. Expand the SFTP files tree under Avalanche. Then expand My Home. This will show what is in the home directory for the remote login. Next, we will create a directory to hold the remote projects. Highlight My Home under the new connection. Right-click, select New Folder. In the New Folder name box, type in the directory name Remote Projects. Click Finish. The new folder is created on the remote server and should appear in the tree under My Home in Workbench. You need to create a directory on the remote server for each project, and those directories should have the same name that you use for the project name. I recommend using the connection name in the name of the project so that you can tell the project location when viewing the tree of the Project Explorer. Ideally, all project directories should be created under the Remote Projects directory, but they can be created anywhere. To create the project directory, highlight Remote Projects in the tree under Avalanche. Right-click, select New Folder. In the New Folder name box, type in the name Avalanche_project1. Click Finish. The new folder is created on the remote server and appears in the tree under My Home Remote Projects. Now that the project directory is created, we can create the project in Workbench. On the menu bar, select File, New, IRI Project. Type in the project name Avalanche_project1. This is the name of the remote directory that was just created. Remove the check for Use Default Location. In the Choose File System drop-down, select RSE. Select the Browse button next to the Location box. This will bring up the Browse for File window. In the Connection drop-down, Select the Avalanche connection. Expand My Home in the tree below. Then expand Remote Projects. Click on Avalanche_Project1. In the box immediately below the connection box, you see the full path for the project directory. Click OK to return to the Create an IRI Workbench project window, where that same directory is displayed in the location box. Click Finish. The project Avalanche_Project1 appears in the Project Explorer tree. Both the Project Explorer and the Remote Systems trees now contain the files and folders that are created when a project is created. If at any time the directories and files do not appear, right-click on the directory and click Refresh. You cannot create scripts in the remote projects, but you can create them in a local project and then copy to the remote project using a copy and paste between the projects in the Project Explorer. I previously created a local project called local_avalanche_project1. This is where I use Workbench to create a sort script avalanche_project1.scl and the metadata file chiefs11m_sep.ddf. The data file chiefs11m_sep is located in this project. The two files avalanche_project1.scl and chiefs11m_sep can both be copied to the remote project avalanche_project1. Right-click on each one and copy. Then paste into the project avalanche_project1. Next, copy the file chiefs11m_sep.ddf from the metadata directory in the local project to the metadata directory in the remote project. We can see that these files are in the remote project and can double-click on them to view them in the Workbench display. When these files are in the display, they can be edited. We need to change the path for the input file in the job script to reflect the pathing on the remote server. Since the in file is in the project directory, we can just remove the path. If the in file was located somewhere else on that server, we would need to provide that path for the in file. Save the file avalanche_project1.scl so that it is in the remote project. We need to set up the run configuration for this job. Be sure that the avalanche_project1 project is highlighted. Right-click in the body of the script. Select Run As, Run Configuration, to go to the Create, Manage, and Run Configuration window. If there are no configurations set up or highlighted, then you need to right-click on the IRI launcher. Select New. This will bring up the configuration options on the right. If the configuration options are already there, you need to set them up for our current project. First, we will set up the Main tab. The name box should have a name for recognizing this job. For this job, we will use the name Avalanche Sort_P1. The box for Project should have the name of our remote project, Avalanche_Project1. The Job Execution Sequence box should have the path and name for the job script. Select Search Add and check the box for our script. Select OK to populate the Job Execution Sequence box. Now select the Remote Execution tab. Check the Remote box. Click on the Browse button for Working Directory. In the Select Working Directory pop-up, click on the Connection drop-down and select Avalanche. In the tree below that, open the My Home item. Click on Avalanche_Project1 directory and click OK. The connection and host boxes are filled in as well as the working directory box. In most cases, the CoSort CLI executable is located in the CoSort home/bin directory. This is the case here, so type in $CoSort home/bin/sortcl. If you have Field Shield, then it would be $Field Shield home/bin/Field Shield. Click Apply to save this configuration in the IRI launcher. Now click Run to run the script. The out file will appear in the Avalanche_Project1 directory. You can run this script again at any time using the saved configuration Avalanche sort_p1. Click on the drop-down arrow next to the green circled arrow on the toolbar. Select Run Configuration. Select Avalanche sort_p1 under the IRI launcher. Click Run. The job has just run again. We have now gone through the steps for setting up a remote connection for executing job scripts using the Workbench and have shown how the run configuration can be saved so that this same job can be executed at any time. Thank you for watching how to create a remote connection for executing a remote job. For more information, visit us on the web at www.iri.com.